am so tired. Ooh, look like a hot mess. Hello plant friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming at you with a philodendron, coming at you with my philodendron collection. I don't think I have that many, but honestly now I'm thinking back, I might have just as much compared to my anthuriums. So let me preface this with all of my plants received the same watering concoction thing that I have. So it's quarter strength liquid gold leaf, I can't talk today. Quarter strength CalMag, quarter strength growth technology foliage focus. Most of my philodendrons are actually in moss, believe it or not. I just don't have good luck transitioning them into pond. So anyways, I'll let you know what substrates they're in as I'm bringing them out to show you. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. Turn this off so the color's better. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you because I'm trying to sell it. So this is a very neglected philodendron biliaceae crossed with Atabapoense. I have chopped this two. I'm pretty sure I chopped this more than 2 times. But anyways, it's been chopped several times and it just keeps growing and nobody wants to buy this plant. I was selling it for dirt cheap on Marketplace, I think like 30 bucks, and no one wants it. So if you guys are in the local Vancouver area and you want this, please give me a shout out or leave it in the comment box below. I will be more than happy to give this to you for $30, okay? Like, I just don't want it anymore. It's just sitting on the ground. It is in pond now. Don't worry, the plant has better support now and is in one piece. Actually, surprisingly. So it's in pond and it's dressed with moss on top. So this is in passive hydro. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And it just fell over, but it did not snap, so we're good. Okay. They're not in any particular order, so I'm just going with what I see. Okay, so this one is my Philodendron nigritans. It's very sad looking. I find it really hard to grow this one. It's always giving me mango leaves, or like it'll give me a leaf and then it'll kind of just die off or turn kind of yellowy like this. It was under my grow light for a bit, but then I took it off and it's just looking kind of sad now. Like, come on now. It is in passive hydro, surprisingly, again, but I have a lot of calcium buildup on top of my substrate ever since I started using liquid gold leaf and foliage focus. I don't know which one it's from, so if you guys know, let me know. So I have to do like a little bit of flushing. I actually have to repot a lot of my plants because they're very algae ridden, so that'll be a whole separate video on that. If you guys have like a question, please put it in the comment box down below and I'll probably answer them in those ones. You can ask me personal ones, plant ones, you name it. Ask me anything, okay? And then I'll use those questions as a topic, I guess. But yeah, this one's really fun because it does have these little textured petioles, and that's what I like about it. But unfortunately, it's just a very ugly plant for me right now. So this is my SP Columbia. There are many variations of the SP Columbia out there. So you could get one, but it could look completely different with the other ones. This one is actually one of the cuttings that I have. Recently, the leaf had died off inside the caterpillar, so I kind of ripped the caterpillar out, and then so I exposed the new one that's coming in. But this one, I believe, was from North Shore Tropicals. This one is actually the top cut, and it just wanted to crawl, so I actually got it in pond. I air layered it and then I got it in pond, and it actually was doing well, so I just leave it here, and I have a whole pile of, that is freaking nasty, hold on. I have a whole like cluster of springtails in the water that was just having a party, so I had to like dump it out. Sorry, that was really gross. This is the top cut, and I'll show you my other one that I got from Tropicals. So this is the one that I got from Tropicals. Okay, I know it's, oh no, oh, there's leftover water. Okay, I hope that didn't go in my coffee. Anyways, it is in moss, in this clear planter, and so it was growing a little bit, oh, it's leaking. Okay. This is bad. This is bad. Okay. Anyways, this is what it looks like, and it is quite long. I did a repot on this a while ago, and so this is what the back looks like now. I don't know if you can see. I can't really bend it over because it's gonna leak everywhere, but it's grown quite a bit, and it is crawling. It's not a plant that grows upright. I think you can, but I just chose not to. And also I've cut the chunk as well. It was also in another video, and it is, I have one activated node, and it gave me this leaf here. So you can see that the color of it is totally different. Oh my God, is totally different from the North Shore Tropical one. You can see that this one here is a little bit more silvery than this one, and this one is more darker in between the venations. So yeah, I really have fun with these ones. I love these ones, and I know some people can get like caught and buying like multiple of the same thing, but I really love it. They're so lovely, and I can't wait to have more. I don't know what to do with it. It's just on my shelf. So this is my Philodendron SP Columbia. Next one I have is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. This is maybe my second one. I do have multiples of this plant, and so it was actually growing like green, kind of minty colored leaves, and it was getting neglected in my bathroom, and so I decided to relocate it. So I do have a pole on this now. It is growing into the pole, I believe, somewhere. It is in moss. I acclimated it in moss, and actually, you know what? I didn't even put this in my cabinet to acclimate properly. It just acclimated in my bathroom. So they're pretty hardy, I would say. So it is starting to upsize a little bit in the leaf maturity, as you can see. So yeah, after I chopped the top part and I gave it to my friend, it started pushing out more of the whiter looking leaves. So I'm very pleased with that, and that kind of gave me an incentive to take care of this plant a little bit better. So that's what we have here, is the Philodendron Florida Ghost. I'm gonna show you my first Florida Ghost, which I acquired maybe two years ago, and just give me 1 second. Okay, so this one is my first ever Florida Ghost. You can tell that the color looks different. The leaf maturity is also about, it's not as good as the one that I have on the pole. So you can see that having a plant on a pole, as it's climbing, the leaves mature much faster. And this one gets neglected. It's on one of these shitty coconut coir poles that don't work. So yeah, this is what it looks like now. When I first got it, it had thrips. I knew it had thrips because it just looked really sus, and I had cut off the leaf here. Like the moment I took it back into our cabin, I was looking at it and I'm like, there's something wrong with this plant. Like, you know, it's like one of those things when you've encountered thrips once, like you kind of know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This one isn't as light colored as my other Florida Ghost. So yeah, I have multiple plants of this. I did give one away. I forgot. I think I gave it to my friend. I don't remember. But this one in here particularly is in it's in soil, and I've never changed the substrate. I just didn't want to. So yeah. So this is the original, and then this is my gift from Planteria when I did a group order. Okay, so I guess I'll put that there. And so my next one here is the Florida Beauty. Recently one of the leaves died in its caterpillar, and so I had to remove it, and then so this is what happened. This is like a baby coming out now. I don't have a leaf on this one, which is kind of sad. It is on a moss pole. It is rooting really well into a moss pole, and it is in pond. I acclimated this plant in my cabinet, and I also had it in water, so I had a little bit of water roots. This plant is really notorious for difficult rooting, so once I saw that it was rooting, I put it directly into pond, and so it's been pretty good. I'm kind of sad about the leaf, but hopefully it'll make a comeback because I'm looking at the stem right now and it's like so tiny. I wanted a plant that was more sectoral, that had more of a sectoral half moon sort of variegation, but I'm okay with this. They're cheaper nowadays, but they used to be so expensive. So yeah, look at all the calcification, or like the calcium buildup that you can see on my moss poles. It's gross. Anyways, I think my pole needs some watering soon. So yeah, just gonna put these back. Also, another thing with these plants, it needs a lot of light to create or stimulate more of the brighter, whiter leaves. But I just don't really offer that because I'm southwest facing, so I don't really get the light coming in that much. The light really hits the wall where my TV is, so it's kind of unfortunate that the layout of our place is like that. I can't really change that direction because the door is actually right beside that wall. So if I put a couch there and switch the TV around, like I wouldn't be able to get out, essentially. But yeah, so anyways, done with that. I can't reach. I need a stool. Where is my stool? This is my stool. Okay. This is my Philodendron mayoi, which I have cut several times. It used to be a very vigorous grower, but I think it had root rot, and I can see that it's had root rot. There was also, I think, a lot of springtails that kind of devoured its, I don't know, there was a lot of springtails in here. Anyways, it stopped growing after I did one last chop to it, and yeah, I don't really see anything happening right now, so I'm kind of sad because it's just not growing anymore. I was hoping that it would be a little bit more mature in terms of the leaf and everything, but this is what it looks like. This is the Philodendron mayoi, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know, it's growing sideways. I don't know if this is a crawler, let me know if you guys know, but this is what it is in pond. It came in leca, and then once I need to repot this because there's like clusters of whatever these things are. Like, do you see all that white? That's not calcium buildup. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's gross, but it has new roots, so that's a good thing. Anyways, like I said, I am very, very overdue for a repot, and I need to repot and sterilize the pond and everything. It's just, I need like a week for this, seriously. Anyways, it came in leca, and then there was root rot that happened, so it almost died, and then I rerooted it in water, put it into pond, and so here we are now. Ooh, you are crusty dry. This is my very sad looking Philodendron serpens. I imported this one from Tropicals? If it's not Tropicals, then it's Eco Genera. And it used to give me really big leaves, and then for some reason it just started giving me smaller ones, but they are maintaining, so I don't mind that. I'm actually very tempted in chopping the top off and just starting over. But I heard these plants, or this plant in general, is hard to root and it's hard to acclimate. A lot of the times the pit, it just doesn't unfurl properly, so yeah. I'm not sure if I don't even see any aerial roots coming out, but I think maybe the next time I see it, I'm gonna air layer and then I'm gonna chop it. It just looks stupid at this point. Like, it's in moss as well, perlite heavy moss. So yeah, it dries up really quick, so that also could be why the plant itself is dying in its cataphyll or getting stuck or having like leaves that are mangled. But yeah, I just really like the fuzziness of the petioles, especially when they're bigger leafed. Like, the small ones are a little bit dinkier, not as nice as like this one here. So yeah, I guess it's okay for me to start new. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna chop it and see if it'll survive. Who knows? But this is my Philodendron serpens. These are the back seals. Okay, next one I have is my Philodendron gloriosum. The gloriosum was one of the first philodendrons I ever had, and I still love it to this day. This one in particular is actually the zebra, and let me tell you, if you are trying to pay more money for a zebra, it's a freaking scam, because if you don't have the right conditions, it's not gonna grow or continue to grow those very stripy venations. So yeah, and I also feel like it's more prone to diseases or like issues, because I never had these issues with gloriosums. I mean, it could be my watering pattern too, but this is what's really happening to my leaves so far. This one here is the newest one. I guess my place was kind of dry when this one was coming out. That's why you see all this like kind of like slimy thing, and that's to I guess help lubricate the leaf when it's coming out of its cataphyll. I have a new one coming in here. I also cut the trunk of this plant, and I cut it into 3 actually. So I have one growing here. I have another growth point here. Actually, let me go from behind and show you, because it'll be better that way. Okay. So I have one here that's growing, I have another one here, and I have an activated one right here that you can see. So cutting it into 3, I cut it one time here and once right here. So yeah, I hope it will grow a little bushier. But I know it's not gonna have that zebra stripy sort of look, but I guess you can consider this as like a dark form. Where you can tell that it's a dark form is that the petiole is actually round, whereas the regular form, like the green one, it's actually a D shape. And I guess you can look up pictures of that, and it should kind of show you the difference. But pretty much, yeah, these petioles are like round, they're not D shape or anything. So Philodendron gloriosum, I'm going to show you my regular gloriosum as well. Oh yeah, and then this is in moss. It's got sphagnum moss, astrocytes, perlite, orchiata bark or orchid bark, and leca. Yeah. I'm gonna drop something, I just knew it. Okay. Okay. This one here is my gloriosum green form, and it was the gloriosum that I purchased right after the death of my original one, which was growing so magnificently, and I transitioned it to pon and it died. It completely rotted, and that's why I have a little bit of PTSD, and I don't really put my stuff, or where I don't really put my philodendrons into pon, is because of that very reason, and I just keep it in moss. So yeah, this one is really interesting. It's got a little bit of a pink back, if you can see, as it's I guess growing. This one is the newest leaf. I think it's not fully hardened yet. It's got a lot of EFN on it. Yeah, and it's got a D-shaped petiole, and it's in my Wally Grow. This one I actually cut as well, and so it's got a new growth. I'm just gonna come around and show you up close. Okay, so the original, it was actually growing out of the pot, and I couldn't really fit it into this Wally Grow, so I just stuffed it in there. So that's why it's kind of floating. So I'm hoping this one, oh yeah, it's growing funny. So this is the new growth, and I have another one here as well. So hopefully when it's growing, maybe I can put a little bit more moss and it can start rooting. I kind of do want it to grow this way because, like, you can see that my other end is growing into the corner soon, and it's got no space. But then again, I can like just pull this whole thing out and separate it. But yeah, this lives in our office on top of my bookshelf, so it's getting a, I guess, okay light. It's not too bad. It's a really easy plant to take care of, to be honest. And if you're looking for like a first time philodendron plant, rare plant, it's not really rare anymore, but you can definitely get one of these. They just bring so much joy to me. Look at the leaves, they're so cute. So this plant is also in moss, leca, and perlite. Okay, so my next one is my Philodendron tortum. It's growing kind of well. This is the newest leaf. I thought it was never gonna grow me a new leaf because this tortum was from my first import from Planteria, and it's been a year. And it finally gave me one leaf, and there's a little baby caterpillar here. So yeah, it's I guess it's easy. I don't know, like it hasn't really done it much for me, but it's pretty cool. Like it's kind of bushy and I like the look of it. So Philodendron tortum, and of course it's in moss in my little orchid cup there. My next one is the Philodendron bilietiae. So this is the cross, one of the cross with the first plant that I showed you today. And it was in soil. I got it from Devon's, knowing that this place is full of thrips and other pests, but it was $4.99 and I couldn't pass it up. So I did have this in isolation for a good half year, and then I pulled it out of the soil. I stuck it in pond and tried to I tried to acclimate it that way or just transition it into pond. It's doing well, it's doing okay. I'll show you if you can see. It's settling well, so I'm happy with that. And it just didn't grow anything for me for a long time, and finally it's been growing, so it's really cute. I like this one. I personally like this one because it grows tighter in terms of like the internode and everything, whereas the Atapoense cross, or even the Atapoense itself, grows up long and it tends to look leggy. That's why I prefer the Biliaceae alone itself instead. So yeah, I'm kind of glad these are easy to get now, so if you want one, go get one. This one is my Philodendron Splendid, I think. It should be. It's super cute. I really like this plant. I actually am contemplating whether to chop it off and then start over. It is in pond, I think. It's in pond and it's topped with soil. It needs a serious repotting. The leaves have been starting to size up for me, as you can see, but I don't have anything for it to climb on, so I feel kind of bad. And this plant has been neglected several times. My friend, when I went on vacation, he forgot to water it. I get it. I had a lot of plants for them to come in and water, and it's sometimes hard to keep up, you know. And yeah, so they forgot, and it pretty much dried up. All the leaves were drooping and I thought they were gonna die, but you know what, it made it. It's doing well, and so yeah, don't know what to say about this one. So this is the Philodendron. I'm just gonna put it down here because I don't remember right now. This is from Jing. I don't think it's lost a leaf yet since I got it, but look how beautiful it is. I love the minty like variegation. Look, I love it. It was growing smaller leaves for a bit, and then recently with my new fertilizers, it's been growing bigger. So I'm happy about that. This one is the newest leaf, and it's still like hardening off, so it's kind of wonky looking. But this one, it is in pond. It never grew into the moss pulse, so I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I also may cut this one back as well because I do want bigger leaves, and I want them to grow in a tighter internodes. I want tighter internodes for this plant, so we'll see what happens. So cute. This is my hanging basket of my Philodendron micans. I had a really tough time actually propagating these because they were just so hard to root. And this is recent that it started to become fuller, but it was like a couple strands essentially before. So Charmaine from Unplant Planthood, she shared this tip where you do a 2-cup method. Basically, you do this. Let me just show you. You take 2 cups and you take your cutting and you just put a little bit of water on the bottom. They don't need to be touching the water, but you want a nice seal around the cup so that it gets really humid in there. And that's how they're gonna root. They will root like this, and then once it's rooted, I just stick it back into the substrate here. I am using pond at the top. It looks kind of gross, but it's doing pretty well. It was actually in moss before, and I was transitioning it. That's why a lot of it kind of died, and they never rooted as well. Again, it's my trauma with transitioning things to pond. So it's doing well now, and yeah, that's all I have to say. It is hanging on my Umbra planter if you guys are curious what kind of planter it is, but it's a joy for me, this one. So I'm probably gonna, once I switch off the camera, I'm probably gonna take a cutting of this and just pop it up at the top there. That's what I've been doing. And then so as they're kind of growing out, they'll just kind of grow longer and longer. And these ones here, I do keep them at this length, so as it's growing I just keep cutting. I do want, so the more you cut, like it's gonna grow, sometimes it'll grow, the new growth point will grow here, sometimes it'll grow higher up on the stem, but yeah, it's just random. You have to do that to create a bushier plant. So for example, this one I had cut on the bottom here, but the new growth node actually got activated near the top here, so which is great. So I have a new vine coming in. So yeah, tip for getting the a plant this bushy is you need to cut it all the time. Cut it back, prune it, and it will, with patience, it will grow fuller. So I actually have 2 more philodendrons. This one is the Philodendron Dean McDowell Aff, I believe, and I think I showcased this before, but it's kind of slow growing for me. It is in pond. I managed to get it in pond, surprisingly, but it's growing out of its pot right now. It's been neglected, and oh, I love that. Okay, anyways, so yeah, it's just kind of like sitting on top of my cabinet here, and so it's a whole ordeal. I just don't know what to do with it because it's climbing, or not climbing, it's crawling, and I just don't really have a big enough pot for it. And the one beside it is my Philodendron Burley Marks, I believe. And so this one also had a hard time getting into pond because it kept rotting. I did take a cutting of it and that didn't survive, and the growth of this plant is just kind of weird. Like, look at it. It just grows, and it grows in whatever pattern it wants. So it's pretty variegated for me. I don't really have many green leaves, and it doesn't seem like it will be green anytime soon, but I just have it here. And it's just kind of chilling on top, but these are the bigger leaves that I think was the original, and these ones are all the new ones that I had. I'm actually surprised because I don't really have that much light in here, but that's my what's on top of my stuff here. I believe that is all my philodendrons. I mean, I have some epipremnums that I don't know if they actually fall under like philodendrons, but they're pretty much the philodendron, but they're pretty much the epipremnum albo. So there's not really interesting things about it other than I'm rooting one in water, and the rest is in moss as well. So yeah, nothing interesting to show with that one. But anyways, this is a very quick video. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comment down below, and any request videos, please let me know what you would like to see. I'm planning on doing a repot video, like a huge repot video, but I just don't really know what I should be talking about in there. So if you have any suggestions, any questions, personal questions, plant related questions, career questions, healthcare questions, ask away, and then I'll probably put them as like a topic that I can talk about as I'm repotting. So yeah, thank you for supporting my channel and continuing to do so. Those who are new, welcome. I really appreciate it, and yeah, just thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye. So that's it for my video. I hope you enjoyed this, I guess like relatively quick one. I don't think I have as many philodendrons as my Anthurium collection. I don't know, I didn't count. But yeah, so if you have any questions, please do ask away. I do welcome any kind of questions. So especially like if you have questions, I can answer them in my next video, as it will probably most likely be a repot video. So I need lots of topics to kind of run through as I'm doing the chores. So yeah, if you have... So I thank you so much for those who are continual supporters of my channel. I really appreciate you. And those who are new, welcome, welcome. And I hope you enjoyed the content. Please give this video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And also don't forget to check out my other videos. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you, and bye-bye.